the McGann family came into possession of Killyon Manor in the early 1800s when William the Magnificent McGann married Elizabeth Georgina Loftus, who was the heiress of Killyon Manor. Their son, William Henry, or he was called William Henry the Bad, he was supposed to have had contempt for everybody and had his horse shoed with shoes of gold. His mother was called the 4-foot faggot, but apparently she was quite good to the people during the famine. Her coffin, when she was buried, had golden nails. In 1880, Augusta inherited all the estates, including 20,000 acres and valuable houses in Dublin, at the age of 55. She had been engaged to Captain Bernard of Castle Bernard, County Offaly. A wedding feast had been prepared by Augusta for her marriage at 77 St. Stephen's Green. On the day of the wedding, the groom failed to appear. The house was shut up, and Lady Augusta lived as a recluse. When she died, she asked to be buried in her bridal dress. After the funeral, they opened up St. Stephen's Green house and found the wedding breakfast still spread for the guests who had not come 30 years earlier. Colonel Bernard died in a horse riding accident at Mullingar. His coffin was wheeled along the railway platform on a trolley. Lady Augusta acquired the trolley and it remained in her sitting room for the rest of her life. She was a shopaholic and a hoarder who filled the rooms of her mansions with a fantastic mixture of treasures and rubbish until the rooms and hallways became so full she could not get through them. Augusta finished up living in her bed sitting room, just one room in the whole house. She was kind to her staff and to animals. She adopted someone wanted ponies and bullocks and put them on her land, but then she failed to take care of them. She mismanaged her estates and left them in shambles, so much so that by 1905, when she died without an heir, they had to spend 6 weeks searching Killyon Manor to find a will. Her will specified that her cash investments and everything else was to be sold, with the proceeds going to the building of hospitals, including one to the memory of Colonel Bernard. But the houses were in such a mess that the contents of each room was sold as it was, unseen by the purchaser. Sovereigns and £5 notes were found in all sorts of places, including teapots, kitchen utensils, and even chamber pots. So confused was it that proceedings against the executors of the will caused an international sensation, with Miss McGann's propensity for hoarding making news around the world, and no funds were available to build one hospital, never mind 3. So her estate was hugely contested, and it ended up in just a mess. The author Charles Dickens was in Dublin in 1858, and he may well have heard the story of the abandoned wedding. In 1861 he published the book Great Expectations, and maybe Miss Havisham is based on Lady Augusta McGann.